Breaking news. Local toy car enthusiast makes unwise purchasing decision on eBay and justifies it by making a video. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Garby's Garage. This is the second one of these I'm doing. So today I thought I'd keep this going, thought I'd do another one of these because I'm having a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed doing that first one. The response on it seemed to be pretty good so far. So at least for now, I'm thinking probably doing one of these every week until I run out of ideas or run out of money to keep funding the ideas, which, oh boy. So for this episode, before I show you kind of what I have to show, we have a bit of preamble to get through. So to start off, back in 2003, so the same year that the previous set we took a look at came out in, Hot Wheels and Mattel released this subset of the Hot Wheels main line, a set of 10 cars called Track Aces. It was, like I said, 10 cars. They were all, sort of the idea with them is they were all meant to perform well on the track, on Hot Wheels track. So typically what you do for a car specifically designed for the track is you make them a plastic body. So the body of the car made entirely of plastic, and then you give it a metal base so that there's sort of a lower center of gravity, which typically makes for a better performing track car. For stuff like downhill racing and loops, curves, that sort of thing, you're gonna want a car like that rather than the opposite, like a metal body plastic base, because that way the center of gravity is a little higher, and sometimes those don't perform too well on especially loops. Usually cars like that will not clear a loop. So they made this 10-car set in 2003 called Track Aces, and then that ended up kind of sparking something, and every year they would do a new set of Track Aces, using, again, more of their castings that were specifically meant for the track, with that, like I said, that plastic body, metal base. So they would do that every year for a good few years. They did that in 2003 with 10 cars. 2004 set was actually 20, massive set that year. 2005 went back to 10, and then 2006, the last year they did Track Aces, they went with 12 cars, which, if you'll see in a second, there is going to be a trend, because, like I said, they did retire the Track Aces name in 2006, for a while at least. We'll get into that a little later. But the next year, in 2007, Mattel would rebrand the track-compatible, track-ideal subset of Hot Wheels for that year, and rather than calling them Track Aces, they would call them Track Stars. And that is what we're taking a look at today. I have an entire carded set of 2007, so the very first year they did these. All 12 cars from the set, which is the number that the 2006 Track Aces had, and would be the number of cars that the Track Stars sets would have for at least, I think they did these for 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, and I think 2011 was also 12 cars, but they may have upped it at that point. So yeah, they did the Track Stars for a while, and would kind of flip in the years since, would flip between using Track Stars, Track Aces. Trick Tracks was I think in the early 2010s, they switched over like Trick Tracks naming scheme. The idea is the same. They're all just cars specifically meant to work best on Hot Wheels track. So like I said, I have an entire set here of the inaugural Track Stars collection of, like I said, 12 cars. If you see there, this is number 1 of 12 in the set. That is the Track Stars logo that was actually not introduced with the 2007 set. It was actually introduced, I believe, with the 2005 Acceleracers. I'm fairly certain used. You know what? Hold on a second. Let me get an Acceleracers car, and I can prove this. Let's get a couple here just to try. I'm curious now. So I have, here's Power Rage. This is a 2005 Acceleracers car. And if you look at the base, Yep. I think I have it upside down. That is, if you can see there, that is the Trackstars logo. So this was the first, these were some of the first castings to use that logo. And I think Drift Tech should have it as well. This is the other, one of the other Acceleracers cars I actually own. And yeah, sure enough, there it is there. So, get these guys out of the way, because you're not the focus of the episode today, Teku. Maybe one day, though. See, we are going to take a look at these guys today. So let's get right into it. That's enough of an intro, enough preamble. Let's open these guys up, and I will show them all off. Like I said, there are 12 cars in the set. I was actually lucky enough to find a complete lot on eBay of every car in the set. However, certain cars in the set, while there are 12 models, certain cars in the set do have recolors. So that actually, if you count in one of every recolor, that actually makes 17 cars in the set. And the lot that I found was only selling 16 of them. There was one recolor that was missing, so I did have to buy that one individually. But it's here, so I'll be taking a look at everything. Starting with car number 1 of 12 for the Trackstars, which just comes in this one color. This is Faradox, which is not a car I grew up with or have any real connection to, but I'm excited to get this one out of the package. This will be the first one of these that I'm seeing in person here. So let's open this guy up. Hopefully I can get a better first rip than the last video. Much better. All right. So here is Faradox. It kind of looks like, no, window piece doesn't move. I thought maybe the window piece was a moving part, because some of the older Hot Wheels did have moving plastic parts in this era. Doesn't seem like this one does. But here's Faradox. So like I said, the body of the car is plastic. In this case, it's this nice transparent red plastic. So you can actually see, if you get a good look at it, you can actually see the interior through the plastic there. It's this nice translucent, I guess nowadays we would call this X-Racers, and that's kind of what's replaced Trackstars for the most part in the main line today, is the X-Racers cars. They're also meant to be plastic body, metal base, work good on the track, but the gimmick is that they use the clear plastic. So we have this red clear plastic body, clear yellow window piece. I guess that's a window piece. Kind of. Yes, it is the window piece. You can see the, I don't know how well you can see them on camera, but you can see the seats just past the window piece there. You get this nice, very 2000s flame decal on the hood. The engine's in there as well. You get on the sides here, not too much. Cool intakes though, I will say I do like the way these either vents or intakes look on the side, both sides of the car. You get these really nice gold OH5 wheels. That is the name of this wheel type here. I don't think these are considered faster than Evers, but I'll have to double check on that. I think this was a year or two before the faster than ever wheels were made. But there's those, both sides. And then of course, like I said, the base there, nice unpainted metal base with the Trackstars logo and the name of the casting. There's Faradox. I like this kind of graded texture on the base. It feels really nice in the hand. It's actually kind of cool how the, what is that? Is that the interior? Yeah, that is the interior. So you see the rivet there, and then right next to it, you have this gold chrome interior piece, because the interior is gold chrome. So there is your Faradox. To be honest, not one of the castings I was particularly looking forward to, but it's a nice fantasy casting. That's one thing I wanted to mention with the Track Stars and Track Aces lines as well, because one reason that I wanted to collect these is because these are almost all fantasy castings. There's very, very few times where the Track Aces and especially Track Stars use real licensed castings. For the most part, it's these fantasy castings, which is what, as I explained in the last video, this shit is what I'm into. I love the fantasy designs. So there's your Paradox. First guy in the set. We'll set you here in the corner. We'll take a look at car number 2. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to start with, there's another reason coming up here that I wanted to start with the 2007 set of Track Stars rather than cover any of the Track Aces stuff, which I eventually do plan on covering the Track Aces stuff as well. But I wanted to start with the Track Stars because this 2007 set only has, out of the 12 cars, a single licensed casting. And that is these guys here. This is also the first one with a recolor. This is car number 2 out of 12 of the 2007 Track Stars. This is Subaru Impreza. Like I said, this is the only real licensed car in this entire set. As you can see, like I said, first car with a recolor, so you get it in both this white as well as a black and green. So we'll get the white one out of the package first. I'll open both of them. We'll take a look at both in detail. Well, we'll start with the white one here. So, oh, actually, hold up. Really? Okay, yeah, never mind. I just had a brain fart. I opened this up and felt the body was plastic. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not supposed to be plastic. Yes, it is. Genius. These are Track Stars. So yeah, I think I'm just not used to feeling a licensed Hot Wheels casting with a plastic body. That's usually the other way around. These tend to have metal bodies. But yeah, you get the Subaru Impreza here. Plastic, enamel, white body. There's a bit of dirt on the hood there, unfortunately, out of the blister. Does kind of suck. You get these nice sort of rally race graphics on the side. Number 13, the stars. That's one cool bit of theming that they did in the early Track Stars sets, is a lot of the cars would have a sort of star theme to them. So you'll often see stars on the graphics incorporated in some way. Interesting, because Paradox, the technically first ever Track Stars car, does not have any stars on it, but flames instead. Whereas this one here, you get a couple stars. So I really like these nice, tasteful decos. Same on both sides. You get the painted black metal base. Out of curiosity, what's the release year here? Is it 2003? It's really hard to see on this base. 2003, so this would have been a 2004 new model. Really nice, clean rally car. Smoked out window. Looks like a white interior. Gray interior. Nice exhaust there on the hood. Really nice car. These are 10 SPs, I believe. I'm not the master of wheel types, but I'm fairly certain these guys are called 10 SP, 10 spoke. There's the base again there. Really, really nice casting. For a licensed car, I fuck with this one heavy. I think this was a good choice for, if you were going to include any type of licensed car for the inaugural Track Stars year, I think this guy here was a pretty good choice. Not a drift, sort of like a rally kind of car. Super neat. Let's get the black one out of the packaging. We'll take a quick look at that. Move right along, because you've seen this car already. I just took a look at it, so I won't go into too much detail. Really the only difference is here. Base is still black, still got those chrome 10SPs. Only difference is obviously the car is in this nice black with this green window piece. Green accents on the graphics. Really nice. I think I prefer the black to the white. I like the way this looks a lot. The interior I think is still that same gray, but otherwise same car, different color. Really nice. Really, really nice. All right. Oh, I'm dropping shit. So, let's take a look at the third car in the set, which also has 2 colors available for it. Car number 3, right here. Split Decision. Car number 3 of 12, right there. And it comes in both this red and clear with gold accents, and this black and sort of light blue with dark blue accents. Both really nice looking. Let's take a look at, let's do blue first. Get this guy out of the package. So Split Decision's another casting that I did not have growing up in any form. So this is really my first time with a version of one of these in my hands. Really cool, almost muscle car energy to it. The decos, I will say, on this black one especially, this star with the black and then the white on the deco makes it look a bit like a police car, like a muscly, heavily modified police car, which is kind of neat. I suppose this could be a police car stand-in for a collage of some kind, some sort of cityscape picture. This would make a good police car. So you get this really nice matte black body. Actually, is that metal? No, it's plastic. I don't think they do metal on metal castings in track stars, but I will have to... No, not in this year. I'm looking at the other cars here, and none of them are metal on metal. So you get these, there's a nice matte black body. You get these huge window pieces here that actually go from one end, the front to the back wheels, and of course are the window pieces as well, in this really nice light blue color. Looks really good with the black. You get the star again on the deco for track stars. There's the other side. You get these really nice, get that in focus there. You get these really nice blue chrome OH5 wheels that again accentuate the color scheme this car is going for quite well. Did not grow up, here's the metal base here, did not grow up with a Split Decision, but I will say this one is quite nice. I'll have to look into what other decos are available. I may want to pick another one of these up. There's Split Decision, and this is actually the first car we see in the set, and it won't be the last, that has the push-through Hot Wheels logo that certain cars had during this time. Of course, you get that track star logo as well. 2-rivet car. Really, really nice. So there is your Split Decision. So I'll set you here. We'll take a look at the recolor as well. This one I don't think looks great, in my opinion. At least in the packaging. We'll see what it looks like outside. But I'm not really clicking with this one as much. Oh, hang on a minute. What does that say? Does it say Track Patrol? I'm gonna get a look at this in outside of the camera view. Yeah, Yeah, the deco says Track Patrol. Does the black one say that? Yeah, it does. Oh, shit. So I didn't notice that from the black one, but it's a little easier to see because it doesn't blend in with the black on this guy. But right there on the deco, camera's not going to focus super great on it. It actually says Track Patrol. So Patrol makes me think that maybe it was supposed to be looking like a police car. That was intentional. Very interesting. Same deco otherwise, just in with this kind of gold accent instead of the silver white accent. You get these totally clear window pieces instead of the blue clear. Red plastic base, plastic body. Same unpainted metal base. Interestingly though, this one doesn't have the push-through logo. The other car has it. This one doesn't. This one just has the regular sort of embossed Hot Wheels logo. Weird. This must be from, my guess would be this is probably a later printing of this car then. Probably later in 2007. I imagine they stopped doing the push-throughs. I think it was around 2007, 2008 that they stopped doing the push-throughs. So these cars must have been coming out kind of in the middle of that. And this must have been one of the releases that was a little later and doesn't have that push-through logo. Otherwise, this one is color-wise not my favorite. I don't really love the choice. The red and gold doesn't look terrible. Like they're nice colors that accent each other. I just am not a big red and gold fan. To mention as well, the wheel type's actually different on this car as well. The black one uses OH5s in the blue, and this guy uses I think these are called Y5 wheels. Correct me if I'm wrong, if anyone knows, but I believe these are gold Y5 wheels, which are a really cool wheel type. I think these are still used today. I'll have to see if I have any more modern castings. I still use the Y5 wheels. They're really nice. Now, in my opinion, if this was the caliber of casting we were going to get for 2007, for the rest of the set, to be honest, I probably wouldn't have taken a look at the set first. They're okay. They're good. I don't think there's anything particularly stand out about our lineup so far. I was impressed by the Subaru. Faradox is a sick casting, and I think Split Decision will grow on me. But nothing here that's like cream of the crop that I would say is like really what I'm after. That starts to change with our fourth car in the set of 12. This guy here. This is car number 4 of 12. This is Backdraft. And they actually all have, I just noticed they all have 2007 collector's numbers in the corner. So this is 112 out of 180 total castings for that year. Here is Backdraft. Now this is the first one of these where not only did I grow up with at least one Backdraft, I actually had 2 Backdrafts as a kid. So I grew up with this casting, but I also grew up with this specific release. I had this 2007 Trackstars as a kid, so it's really cool to be able to get this one back into my collection after so long. So here is a look at the packaging. I forgot to do this with the Sega set, but we can actually take a look at the back of the card as well. So you see ad for HotWheels.com there, which doesn't exist anymore. You type in HotWheels.com nowadays, and you'll get redirected to Mattel's website to purchase Hot Wheels, which is super lame. HotWheels.com during this era was one of my favorite childhood websites to go on to. Amazing Flash games. I'm so glad so many of those were archived. You get the Trackstars logo, works on track. Another ad for HotWheels.com. The majority of this is an ad for HotWheels.com. Play cool games, get awesome downloads, and check out Hot Wheels vehicles. Super cool. There's a little screenshot of what the website would have looked like in 2007. And there's actually a fun fact here. So fun fact 112 out of 180. The Backdraft is the only Trackstars car this year that has been in the Track Aces series before, having appeared in both 2004 and 2005 Track Aces series. So that's interesting there. Kind of buries the lead a little bit, or unburies the lead, I guess. But yeah, the remaining cars in this series are all brand new to this Trackstars, Track Aces sub-series, and I'm very excited to take a look at those. But for now, let's take a quick look at Backdraft. Famously, Backdraft is one of the 35 cars featured in the 2003 Hot Wheels Highway 35 World Race movie, and in the video game as well, the tie-in video game. And that was actually the other release of Backdraft that I had as a kid. I had the World Race Backdraft. I think that was that was some of my earliest memories with Hot Wheels, was having that 2003 Backdraft in my collection. And then I had this one as well. Now, I'm probably just very nostalgic for this car. I love Backdraft. This is such a sick casting, in my opinion. I think a lot of people would probably say this color scheme is atrocious, and maybe if I didn't grow up with this particular car, I would agree with you. But I can't hate this thing, man. I love this color scheme. This metal flake, pink, purple kind of color. I wouldn't know exactly what to call this. With this really bright neon orange window piece. Really nice decos on the side. You get the Trackstars spell out there with the star in the middle. You get stars across the graphic part of the tampo as well. I think it looks really nice. There's the other side there. Chrome PR5s, classic wheel type. I love these. Almost any car can rock the PR5s super well. Chrome interior. There's the interior piece. And let's address the elephant in the room. This car comes with a surfboard, which can be... Let's see if I'll get it out without breaking it. But these surfboards can be detached. So there's the Backdraft surfboard. I love when Hot Wheels used to do these detachable parts, especially the surfboards. Like on Backdraft, Diora 2 is probably the most famous example of the surfboards. How do I get that back in? There we go. So Diora 2 used the detachable surfboards as well. Switchback, I think, used the surfboards. Basically, a good chunk of the cars from the Wave Rippers set in Highway 35 used these detachable surfboards. And unfortunately, it's not something Hot Wheels does anymore. If you buy, I don't think they make Backdraft anymore, but if you buy a casting like Diora 2 nowadays, whenever that gets released, that used to have detachable surfboards, they've actually tooled them out, and they are just plastic, or just part of the metal base now. I'll actually show you what a new Diora 2 looks like. Just as an example here. To show you how hard Hot Wheels is fucking falling off, dude. These guys suck now. This is the 2026 fan-driven Diora 2. And as you can see, those surfboards are just part of the body, unfortunately. Part of the metal body. Not detachable. So, is what it is. But this era, you'd get castings like this still that had the really nice detachable surfboards and detachable parts in general. So, take a look at the base before anything else. There's the base. This is a 2002 new model, Backdraft. 2002, one of the most legendary years for Hot Wheels fantasy castings. So many great castings came out that year. Backdraft, Ballistic, I think, was 2002. Slingshot, MST Suzuka, I think, was 2002. I could be wrong on that. Maelstrom, I think, was 2002. That might be 2001. But Point being, 2002, a lot of good castings. Great year for Hot Wheels. And this is certainly no exception. This sort of sporty, really nice Y2K, I don't know, like sports car mixed with, I guess that's kind of a truck bed. I don't know if you'd call that necessarily a truck bed, but I don't really know what else you'd call that. It's sort of a sports car meets convertible meets truck energy, and it's really, there's nothing like this for real cars. This is why I love Hot Wheels Fantasy, because you get these cool designs that meld different styles of cars that you don't see in the real world often. Love this painted metal base. It's got a nice weight to it. So many Hot Wheels castings nowadays don't have like good weight. They feel cheap, even if they are like plastic body metal base like this. So many of them just feel kind of bad. Now, if you buy one of these, any Backdraft or any Dior 2 Switchback, any car that uses the detachable parts, secondhand, especially if it was used and loved by a child, good chance it's going to be missing the surfboard. They detach super easily, and most of them go missing. I know both of my childhood Backdrafts did not have their surfboards pretty quick into me owning them. So this one I'll keep as a display piece, and I should have that surfboard on it for the entirety of it being in my collection. Love, love, love that car. That is such a fantastic choice for the inaugural Track Stars. But now's the part I'm excited for. So we're a third into the set, 4 cars out of 12. And there's some good choices here, decent choices. I like the Paradox and the Impreza quite a bit. Backdraft I love. Split Decision I think I'll come around on. And these are all great. These are all great. But they're not these last cars, because you see, these next cars, car 5 through 12, the remaining 8 castings, are all Acceleracers, and they're way, way, way cheaper to buy carded than the actual 2005 Acceleracers cars. I am so excited to open these because, let's just get started here. This guy, car number 5, this is Flathead Fury. Very iconic car for Hot Wheels Fantasy. Very iconic car for fans of Acceleracers. This is one of the 9 Metal Maniacs castings that they did. Out of the, I should probably explain myself here. So Acceleracers, 2005 animated series of 4 movies, 4-hour-long movies that came out on Cartoon Network across 2005. Alongside the animated movies, they did an entire set of 36 brand new, entirely original Hot Wheels Fantasy castings. Most of them made it into the movies, some didn't, but they were all released physically. Super, super sick. Those cars are all highly collectible and highly sought after, especially some of the ones that didn't get very high print runs, because with 36 cars, distribution wasn't handled super great, and there ended up being a few models that were significantly underprinted. Like this guy here, Flathead Fury is a pretty notoriously expensive casting if you want the Acceleracers version, the Metal Maniacs release, to the point where I think they're going for something like, if you want one carded, they're going for something like, on eBay, like $300 or $400 Canadian. It's insane. Don't ever pay that much for a single car, especially an Acceleracers car. It's not worth it. They're cool. They're incredible cars. I agree. No car is worth that much, though. It's ridiculous prices. Don't pay people on eBay that much money. And hopefully the market gets more reasonable, because that is insanity. Even loose, the Acceleracers Flathead Fury goes for like $150. It's insane. But we have these, and these were, like I said, these were part of the lot. But I think if you do the math, I think it was about $4 or $5 for each of these. quite a bit cheaper than what the Acceleracers casting goes for, and it's the exact same casting, just with no Metal Maniacs decals and no PR6s. CM6s, sorry, not PR6s. That doesn't exist. CM6s, co-molded 6-spoke wheels. They use OH5s instead, as you can see. So enough preamble. I'm going to try to get through the rest of this set as quick as possible. Just know that there is a reason I'm so excited for the remainder of these, and they are all Acceleracers cars. This one, this Chrome Flathead Fury, was the only other car that I grew up with from this 2007 Trackstar set. I had this guy here in my childhood collection as well, and I loved it. Flathead Fury, in my opinion, is the best Metal Maniacs casting. I love this thing. Spinebuster, Riveted, Hollowback, they're all great castings as well, but Flathead Fury has my heart, especially because it was prominently featured in the third Acceleracers movie, Breaking Point, which was actually the first one I watched. This car was driven by Marky, and pretty emotional moments for that character driving this car, shall we say, without spoiling anything. But yeah, this car is a very special place in my heart. So let's get this open. First time I've held one of these in probably 15, 16 years. It's been a while. And oh man, I love this casting so much. It's this it's weirdly sleek for a Maniacs car, but it's still got that the riveted metal and the big exposed engine. It's got this really nice melding of kind of like a race, F1 style car with that Metal Maniacs flair. And I love it. Oh, that's the engine, the black bit there. Really great detail. You get the T-Star decal on the side. Not much in terms of decals, just that. And you get a Hot Wheels logo, some stripes. Not too much. It's very clean. I love the way this looks. Like I said, OH5 wheels right there. One of the coolest spoilers, I think, out of any fantasy casting. Really sick spoiler with these two exhausts sticking out. Super sick. A lot of cool part breaks. This car was assembled. I'd love to take one of these apart one day and just see how it comes together. See, a completely chrome, clear metal piece, black interior. You get the metal base with that push-through logo, the black push-through logo. Looks really good. Flathead Fury with the Trackstars logo. And yeah, I just love this car. This is one of the coolest castings in the entire set for me. Maybe not my all-time favorite, but we'll get to that one in a second. And then here's the other color. Get this one out of the box as well. Boom. So this one's got a little more going on. Rather than the standard chrome, this one is blue. Really nice, deeper blue with a light blue T for the decal, and then gold kind of accent color. Clear yellow window piece. Chrome interior instead of the black interior. And you still got that unpainted metal for the spoiler and the, I don't know, I'm not exactly sure what that is. And then the base is actually painted metal. Weird. Hold up. Yeah. So this is the chrome one uses unpainted metal. You can kind of see some of the imperfections there. Whereas this one is painted. It's like a gray, a painted gray, with the interior coming through for that push-through logo. And then it also uses gold OH5 wheels. You know what? I didn't think I would like this one as much as the full chrome, but honestly, I like this color scheme a lot. That is super sick. I did not expect the base to be painted metal. I think that's a really good, tasteful choice for this casting. So we'll move right along here to car number 6, our halfway point, which is... Oh shit, I'm dropping my cars, bro. My new cars. So number 6 just has the one color, and that is Riveted. Another Metal Maniacs casting, another one of the 9. And this one, if you can see, there's the name of the car, number 6 of 12. Get this one open. So Riveted was driven by another Acceleracers character that returned from Hot Wheels World Race, Taro Kitano. This was his second car and only other car he uses in the series, other than his 70 Plymouth Roadrunner that he starts the Acceleracers series with from World Race. And the color choice here, this like burnt orange brownish, is actually almost spot on the color they used for the Acceleracers version of Riveted. So I think this one is honestly about the closest one of these track stars gets to looking like its Acceleracers counterpart. This is the first one of these I've ever owned, but I love Riveted. It's a classic design. One of the few Acceleracers designed by Larry Wood, who's one of the most prolific Hot Wheels designers in the company's long history. I think he did designs from like 1969 or 70 up until like 2019. He did them for basically most of the company's history. It's wild. So yeah, this is a fantastic muscle car. Really has that Metal Maniacs flair to it. Chrome PR5s for the wheels. Like I said, this really nice orange with these white and black decals. You get the star in there as well. Most of these have had the stars, which is really nice. I love the theming and the consistency and cohesion with most of this set and the stars. You get the nice exposed huge chrome engine there that most of the Metal Maniacs cars have. You actually get some roof detailing here. You get some roof graphics, which unfortunately it looks like is starting to come off a bit, which unfortunately tends to happen on these old cars when they've been sitting in a blister pack for the better part of 20 years. This is 2007, so this was a 19-year-old set. So you get a bit of damage there on the tampo, unfortunately. Smoked out window piece, chrome interior. Really nice looking. It's kind of hard to see the interior there, but you can see it is the same chrome piece as the engine. And I just think this looks so clean. I love the back. It's going to sound funny. I love the back end of Riveted so much with the little spoiler and the tail light details with the, if it'll focus, Jesus, with the exhausts there in the back. And there's the unpainted metal base, Trackstar's logo, Riveted, push-through logo. And this is actually one of the push-throughs that has the full Hot Wheels lettering as well, which some of the others didn't. I think Flathead Fury, yeah, Flathead Fury just does clear with no lettering. Whereas with this, you get the lettering that the actual Acceleracers castings had. Super sick. Love Riveted. Another adorable win for this set. Moving right along, we have number 7 for this set, which has 2 colors. And it is Iridium, our first non-Metal Maniacs Acceleracers casting for the set. This is a Silencers car. The Silencers were sort of this shadowy organization that you don't really know anything about. None of the other drivers know much about. They just kind of show up in the realms and start winning races. They start like disguising themselves as other cars. They have all these neat spy tricks to just kind of sneak around the realms undetected and win races. It's super, super sick. And this is one of the most, if not the most important of the Silencers castings, so I'm glad they ended up doing this one first. No spoilers, but if you've seen these movies, you know why this car is so important and infuriating in some cases. But yeah, this is car 7 of 12. You see Iridium, collector number 115. Does this say of 156? I thought it was 180. Yeah, this one says 180. Maybe one of these is like US packaging, the other's international. That's my guess. There was a lesser number of international castings. I'm not sure. So here it is. Now this blue Iridium is the car I was talking about that did not come in the lot that I bought, and I had to buy this one separately. Funny too, because there are a few castings in this set that actually have wheel swap differences as well. I don't plan on collecting all of those, but if you factor in all of the cars that are one color but have a different style of wheel, I think there are 21 total castings, possible castings to have for this set. So 17 if you count color variations, 21 if you count different wheel variations. And the reason I mention that with the blue Iridium here is there are actually 3 different versions of this. There's this guy here with the PR5s. There's a version with OH5s, which is the wheel type that the red one has. And then they did it in 5SPs as well, which is weird. I think that's the only casting, or one of only 2 castings in the entire set that use 5SPs. Not sure why, but you could get this car in a few different wheel types. And I have the PR5 version, which I think looks the nicest of the 3, so I'm glad this is the one I was able to find locally from a Canadian seller. So let's get the blue one open. Take a look at that one first. Now this is a casting that I actually do have a modern equivalent of, and I'll actually grab that now so I can compare. Because as many of you know, this was one of the castings that was released in the 2025 Acceleracers Silver Series set. Here is that release of it. And we'll compare in a second there versus this guy here. This is the 2007 Track Stars edition, which uses the same tooling as the 2005 Acceleracers one, which is very different from this tooling, but we'll get to that in a second. So really cool. All the Silencers had this like futuristic hypercar. I guess Y2K futurism would be the best way to describe it. Really neat, bubbly designs usually, but also sleek. They looked fast, but also stylish at the same time. Some of my favorite designs from Acceleracers are the Silencers cars. So you get the star. Shit. Well. Oh man, there goes the value on that one. Let's try that again. So you get the, hopefully they didn't scratch it too much. You get the star there for Track Stars on the side of the table on both sides. You actually get TS07 in the corner there, Track Stars 2007. Really, really neat. There's the front decal there. You get some lines coming down from the window piece, and that window piece is so sick. It's this bubble window with each seat on the sides of this like riveted piece in the middle, which goes up from the hood all the way through the window and then all the way to the back of the car past the spoiler. And this spoiler is so sick. So the spoiler is its own part, and you can actually see, if you look close there, it's actually floating above the body of the car. It's not attached, which, if we compare that to the retooled version, to how they do Iridium nowadays, this is the Silencers. This is what it looked like, generally what it looked like in the show, in the movies. You actually see that that spoiler piece is closed and is now attached to the body. It's no longer a hanging part. Yeah. Also now the sort of middle part that was normally part of the window piece that went up from the spoiler to the window to the hood. These were all kind of individual parts. This was the body, this was the window piece, and this was the interior piece. But on this one, it's been retooled to just be, that line is all just part of the body, which means that the window piece is actually cut in half. So these are individual window pieces, which I think makes it look not quite as good, not quite as cohesive, especially on this release because they kind of fucked up the color. I don't think that quite looks as seamless as the color used for the window, when in the show it's meant to be the same color. This is all meant to be the same color, but it looks kind of off on the Silver Series release, whereas on this one it's just this clean line. Man, this thing will not focus. It's this clean line going up through the middle, all individual parts. Super, super sick, super clean car. And there's your base for this guy. Another proper titled Hot Wheels push-through logo. Name of the car and the Track Stars logo. This thing is so cool. There's your headlights, which were part of the base. You can actually see that they were the unpainted metal. Whereas on the new release, oh, actually it might still be. I can't tell if that's part of the base or not. I think it is. I think it is part of the base. So I'm wrong there. That's not something they changed. But a lot of other things were changed, and I think it's for the worse. But the original Iridium stands above and is a sick casting in its own right. Let's take a look at the red one now. Oh god. Well, it's not one of these videos without a terrible blister pull. I was really hoping I wouldn't make a habit of this. There we go. Gotta manhandle the car out of the packaging here. There we go. I don't think the red looks quite as good as the blue. I really like the blue color they went with. But it is really nice all the same. Same graphics. Like I said, this one, they only ever did the red with OH5, chrome OH5 wheels. So this was the only one you could get for the red. But then, like I said, the blue has a couple different options for color. It's a nice red, I will say. I don't think I like it quite as much as the blue, but it is a very nice red. Kind of a deeper red. I'm not sure how well that shows up on camera. With then sort of like a lighter red for the tampos. There's the base, exactly the same as the other Iridium. So we'll move right along. Take a look at the 8th car in the set, which will mark 2/3 of the way there, final stretch. And that one also has, it's the last car in the set that has 2 color variations. This one's very special to me, and that is car number 8. This is Baseline, the first of the 2 Teku cars from Acceleracers. It's no surprise, I'm a huge fan of tuner cars, JDM stylings, especially in the early to mid 2000s when Acceleracers was released. And the whole thing with the Teku team, it's 9 cars, all JDM tuner castings, which is incredible. This was the Teku's take on a truck, and we'll get into that when I get one out of the package. I'll start with the black one. This car was driven by Shirako Takamoto, the sort of DJ and VFX guy for the Teku. One of the coolest characters in the series. And this was the only car he drove truck, I guess, because it is, as you can see, a truck, but rather than a truck bed, it has been modified with a full speaker system. And that, I think, is one of the coolest details out of any of these cars. It's a truck meant to bring to parties and car meets to basically just be a massive speaker, which is so cool, so vibey. I would love to drive something like this. Would be so sick. And I think this black looks really nice. The original 2005 Acceleracers release was in a pearlescent white. So I think kind of a black with red window and red deco detailing is sort of a cool inverse to what the Teku normally style their cars like. Really, really cool design. It's like a, I guess, an enamel black chrome interior. And you can see on those speakers, chrome, red window piece. Get red and white Tampo designs. You get the T-Star logo with track stars on both sides. Tampo's starting to rub off already from the packaging, unfortunately. Chrome OH5 wheels. Really nice. I think baseline looks best with OH5s. If you can't do CM6s, of course, which these were $1 cars, so unfortunately that was a little bit too cheap for CM6s. I guess that's not true. There were some mainline cars in 2006 and 7 that used CM6s, but I don't think any of these track stars ever did, unfortunately. So here's the base here for baseline. And the interesting thing about baseline, both of the releases that I have, that's not true. I almost fibbed, but this one here just uses the regular Hot Wheels logo, when most of the Acceleracers castings from this time had the push-through logo. This one is just the regular embossed. Kind of neat. I love baseline. I had the Teku baseline as a kid. I didn't have this one, but I did have the Acceleracers release. It was one of the few Acceleracers cars that I did actually grow up with. So you get that guy there, and then this is the blue one, which I don't think I like quite as much, but it's not a bad casting either. It still goes for that red accent color, the exact same red that the black one uses. But this one, of course, is on an enamel blue body. That looks quite nice, quite nice. It's almost got the red, white, and blue make me think this is like the American Teku. This is the Freedom Teku, the Freedom baseline. But also, I guess you could say that this blue is a little more accurate to a lot of the other Teku cars from Acceleracers. A lot of them were in blue, whereas baseline, I think, was the only of the 9 castings to be primarily white. So there is the blue one. This one actually does have the push-through logo on the base. There's baseline. Super, super sick party truck. One of my favorite castings from my favorite team of all the 4 teams in Acceleracers. Love this thing. All right, let's speed through these last 4. These are all single color cars. Starting off with our other Silencers car for the set. This is Anthracite, car number 9 of 12. And it is only available in this orange. And it's going to be another rough blister pull, folks. He can't keep getting away with this. I hate having to open cars like that. So this is Anthracite. And if anyone has seen Slingshot, another quite famous Hot Wheels fantasy casting, you'll see quite a few similarities. I'll actually get a Slingshot out here. Uno momento. Let me get my first edition Slingshot here. Here we go. This is Slingshot, and as you can see, comparing it to Anthracite, quite a lot of similarities in the stance of the cars. They have sort of the same vibe going on here. I suspect at one point in development this was originally supposed to be a Teku car and driven by Kurt Wilde, who in World Race, the previous movie, drove Slingshot. But it ended up getting moved to the Silencers, and they put Kurt in Battle Spec. This is a really, really, really sick car. Sort of a combination of like street racing with like, I don't know, F1 aerodynamics. Kind of hard to say exactly. It's got this enamel orange body, blue clear window piece going down the middle, the entire middle of the car. Really tasteful black and gold tampos going up. They sort of end around the middle and then they flare out to the back with that star decal. Really nice. It's got a unpainted metal base. The interior is like a kind of a lilac color. It's weird. It's not something I've ever seen on a Hot Wheels before for an interior color. It's very unique. Very, very weird, but I don't hate it. It's just interesting to see the push-through logo in like a lilac. And then you get these gold 10 SPs, one of the only other castings that uses the 10 SPs, in a really nice gold. This is another one I feel like people may say looks a little garish and ugly, but to be honest, I like it quite a lot. I don't mind the bright oranges. I like neon orange quite a bit, and I think the light sky blue of the window piece complements it quite well. So yeah, this is another really cool casting. Maybe I should be more negative. I feel like I'm just I'm glazing these cars too much, man. But honestly, I don't have a lot of bad to say. Car number 10 in the set. Let's get Slingshot out of here. Car number 10 in the set is the other Teku car alongside Baseline. And this is a crazy one. This is Spec Tight. Car 10 of 12. As you can see, Spec Tight there. Collector number 118 of 180. This one also only comes in the one color. Let's get this open. Now, Spec Tight is, like I said, another Teku car. This one driven by Nolo Pissarro, one of the protagonists of the series. And it's in this nice lime green. Now, Spec Tight, if you want the original 2005 Acceleracers release, much like Flathead Fury, you're going to be paying an arm and a leg. Unfortunately, this is one of the cars that did not get a very long production run and was not made in a terribly large batch. So unfortunately, new Spec Tights, even used ones, go for well into the hundreds of dollars. Like I said, do not pay that money. Go to car shows. Go to your local Facebook groups. See if anyone has any of that stuff lying around. And some folks may not know what they have. They just assume it's fantasy trash and sell it to you for a good price. Don't go on eBay for this shit. For stuff like this, it's fine, but for really collectible stuff, it's not worth it. So this is Spec Tight. It's sort of a rally style car, which is very different for Teku. Like I said, most of the Teku cars are sort of tuners, JDM street racing cars. Whereas this one is very much like a rally, almost looks like an RC car, especially in this lime green that they have it in. It looks a bit like an RC car, like the RC car from Toy Story. So it's like I said, lime green body, blue, dark blue, clear window piece, chrome interior, track stars on the side, T-stars with the Hot Wheels logo behind it. This one may have my favorite tampos and graphic design of the entire set. I really, really like the way that looks. It's hard to see on camera. but the blue is sort of a metal flake. So it sheens really well in light, and I think it looks really, really nice. Chrome PR5s, of course. I think these look quite good on Spectite. Nice gray spoiler piece. I think Spectite has a really cool spoiler as well. And then here is the underside. Spectite, no push-through logo, just the regular Hot Wheels logo embossed. Cool detail. This is another thing that I want. I mention the bases on these cars so often because in these 2000s models, there's so much cool base detail. You can see like the suspension detailed. You can see, I think that's part of the engine. I'm not a car guy, so I don't know what the hell I'm looking at. Sort of the exhaust starting at the base, coming over to the end there. Really, really, really cool. And you don't see that on modern Hot Wheels nearly as much, especially fantasy castings. You look at the bases on modern fantasy castings, and a lot of it's just legal information, casting name, year of release, and like flat metal. There's not usually so much detail on them anymore because they have to cut costs. So Spectite is absolutely a fantastic casting from this set. I feel like I didn't have much to say about it, but really that's because there's not much negative to say. It's all just positives. It's all just, here's the things I love about this car. Really, really sick. This is probably one of the coolest ones to get your hands on, one of the cheapest ones to get your hands on pre-retool, because unfortunately the retool for Spectite is not great, and I think hurts this car quite a bit. It makes it look really ugly. But yeah, if you want a pre-retool Spectite, I can't recommend going with the Trackstars one enough because they're still very cheap, very easy to find, and were produced in seemingly much higher quantities with less demand because there's not a Teku logo on it. All right, we got 2 left in the set. Car number 11, another Metal Maniacs. This is Pile Driver. Car 11 of 12, Pile Driver. Now this one's interesting. I've been wanting to get this one out of the box, out of the packaging for maybe more than any of the other cars from this set because I just have to see this. It's got like this cream sand kind of color to it with these green and brown star decals. I guess green, brown, and white. What does that say? Track K7610. What does that mean? I don't know what that would mean. I don't know what K7610, maybe that's the tooling number, and they sort of, I don't know, the base code, and they sort of factored it into the graphic in some way. But it's interesting. This one, to be honest, I always just kind of, I looked at it and I thought it looked like a military vehicle. And I think this kind of confirms it to me that they knew what they were doing. Sort of how Split Decision, the black one, looks a bit like a police car. This one to me looks like a military Hummer or tank of some kind, some sort of rugged battlefield vehicle. Now, of course, like I said, Metal Maniac's car. This was driven by Porkchop in Acceleracers. This was his second car that he drove. Not one of my favorite castings from the Maniacs, but it is still cool. It's got this absolutely gigantic engine sitting out in the front here. It's got a chrome interior. It's got this black roll cage, kind of. It's sort of interesting. It's the only Maniacs casting that has like an exposed, I don't know, roll cage. I don't know what you'd call it other than that. But it does definitely make Pile Driver look quite unique compared to the other Maniacs cars. It's just not one of my favorite designs. Totally a personal preference. But I do think it's interesting that they went for kind of a a military look with the color and graphics on this one, because I think Piledriver probably is the most militant looking of the Maniacs cars. Very sick. You get the chrome OH5s. Interesting choice. I'm not sure how I feel about OH5s on a car like Piledriver. I think there'd be better wheel choices. And you get the base here, unpainted metal, chrome push-through logo, Trackstar's logo, and Piledriver. It's a tab and post design as well, so you get the post in the back and then the front headlights and grille slot through the body here. And that's how the car is held in place. So it is definitely a car that feels a little, well, something's rattling around in there. It's definitely a car that feels a little less secure. But I mean, that's not going anywhere. It is in there securely. It just kind of shakes around a little more than maybe a lot of more modern Hot Wheels, which is cool. It's got a nice weight to it as well. I think Piledriver was a good choice for this set. Not one of my personal favorites, but it is warranted and it is welcomed. And I suppose that leaves us with just one car remaining. This is another exciting one. This is our final car, number 12 of 12, and it is another Metal Maniacs casting. It is Hollowback, the hero car of the Maniacs, driven by Torquematics. So car 12, there's Hollowback. Just for shits and giggles, check the back of the card. Did you know the Hollowback debuted in the Acceleracers movies and was driven by Torquematics? Torque's first name comes from the word torque, a word used to describe how much rotational force an engine has. That's cute. I like that. Maybe I'll go back and do like a bonus extra video where I read the other, 10 cards that I didn't read all the facts on them. That'll be cool. I'll try doing that. But for now, let's get this cool looking Hollowback out of the packaging. And let's take a look. So unfortunately, and while I do like the original release of Hollowback, it does kind of have a bit of a fatal flaw. So the engine piece is part of the interior. It sort of slots in through the hood of the car and rests on top. But unfortunately, because it's its own separate piece, a lot of Hollowbacks are... Oh, you can just snap it back in. Oh, but it does kind of come out like that. Okay. So yeah, a lot of these pre-retool Hollowbacks, well, I do think they look nicer than the retool. The engine piece does kind of stick out like that a lot, and it makes it look kind of goofy and weird, but I guess you can just push it back in and it stays like that. I didn't have the original Acceleracers Hollowback in my childhood, but I did own the McDonald's casting of Hollowback that they did for the 2005 McDonald's Happy Meal promotion, which was a little different. It was a completely different tooling. The interesting thing about the McDonald's Acceleracers, which maybe, you know what, I think I will take a look at those in a video someday. But without spoiling too much, like I said, all of the Acceleracers cars are plastic bodies, metal bases, whereas the McDonald's toolings are metal body, plastic base. So kind of reverse from what we're used to with the regular Acceleracers. So this one is in this really nice metal flake gray, which I think is a super tasteful and nice color scheme for Hollowback. Get that star logo again, which I'm glad most of the cars in this set did. All of the Acceleracers castings at least had at least one star on them somewhere. So I really got to commend that. I think actually every single casting, except for Paradox, has a star on it. So that is actually really strange that Paradox is this like weird outlier. But yeah, every other car has at least a star on it somewhere. This one has a couple. You can get the outlined black star and a couple extra little white ones going down towards the front of the car. Cool angular shapes on the back too, on both sides. I gotta say that the metal flake is really nice. Metal flake gray looks really, really nice on this casting. The original hollow back, for those who don't know, is in like a, I forget if the original casting is in like a satin red, and then they do like a metal flake red later, but it's one of the only Acceleracers castings that changes color the later into the production run you get. There was the original color they weren't happy with. It wasn't as screen accurate, and so they redid it with a completely different color. But this one I think looks fantastic in the gray. Blown out engine. I love the Maniacs engines. They all have these like crazy exposed engines. Front headlight detail. Not too much going on in the back there. Hollow back is named mainly because of its hollow back here, where there's some kind of fan, intake fan. I'm not sure. Kind of weird because the engine's up front here. I'm not sure why there'd be a fan in the back, but I'm sure somebody knows why. Chrome interior, smoked out window. Just on the front of the car, there's no windows on either side, which I don't remember if that's accurate to the movies. I don't know. Chrome exhaust here on both sides, part of the interior, and then you get that unpainted metal base, hollow back, Trackstars logo, and that push-through logo from the interior as well. Oh, and another car with chrome 10 SPs. Really, really nice. I could glaze hollow back for a while. It's a really, really nice car. One of my favorites from the Maniacs. But this is the iteration they did for Trackstars, and that is the final car. So, this, ladies and gentlemen, oh, sorry for hitting the camera. This is the entire 2007 Trackstars series, all 12 castings that they did in every color. If I one day decide to pick up some of the wheel swaps, I'll maybe do a quick side video where I show those off. Nothing too interesting. They're the exact same colors. The only difference with those is certain wheel swap differences, certain different tires used. So I probably won't, but one day, look out for that potentially. It might happen. And yeah, that is the first of these. As for my plan going forward with the Trackstars and Track Aces retrospectives, I eventually want to do every year that they did these, from 2003 all the way to 2006 for the Track Aces, so those 4 years. And then I figure the first 4 years of Trackstars as well, so 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010. And if those do well and you guys like them, then maybe I'll take a look at some of the more modern stuff that they did in these lines. I know there's a couple 5-packs that are a little more modern that I would like to take a look at from the early to mid 2010s. But honestly, like I said, that's around the time where Hot Wheels starts to get a lot less interesting to me. So I don't know if I'll take a look at everything when it comes to those. I don't have a lot of nostalgia for a lot of the casting choices from that era. But these were certainly so worth talking about, reminiscing on. I love so many of these castings so much. They were such a great choice, and I think this is by far going to be my favorite year of Trackstars / Track Aces that I do. So maybe I'm starting immediately by jumping the shark. We'll see. But maybe I'll be surprised by another year's set. And speaking of, I do actually have another year of a complete set of these on its way. So I would expect another one of these retrospectives quite soon. What year that is, I won't say, but I will say it is one of the 4 Track Aces sets. So we're going to go a little older than this and take a look at some of those cars. Not next video, but in a few videos, we'll definitely be taking a look at that. I want to thank you all for watching so much. If you enjoyed this, and if you like hearing me talk about 2000s die-cast cars, subscribe, like the video. There's going to be plenty more of this in the future. That's all I have to say. You guys have a great rest of your day. Take care. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.